meeting, October 7th, 2024. Do we have any guests here that would like to introduce themselves?
Sarah Harbison, Pelican Institute.
Two lines there.
Dee Douglas, Cosmetology.
Erica Williams Parks, Headliners Nova.
Anissa Parks, Headliners Nova.
Erin Grace, Paul Mitchell Schools.
Robert Burns, Sound Off, Louisiana.
Sam McCray, Hammond, Louisiana.
Dr. Andrea Cozy, Ray J's College of Cleveland.
Good morning, everyone. Okay, we will go ahead and start with our invocation.
Thank you for this day, October the 7th, once again. Bless our board members, office workers, and our inspector. Bless our guests also. In your name, amen.
Amen.
Roll call for us.
Jennifer Reed,
Present.
Michael Anderson,
Present.
Renee Cooper, President Raymond Cozy,
Present.
Nicole Bohan, Present. Brittany Petrie, absent. Lauren Quinlan.
Present.
6 board members present, 1 absent, and there is a quorum.
Has everybody had a chance to go over the minutes from the last meeting?
I did, but we discussed coming up with some talking points and starting a strategy to go after more funds and targeting a specific representative, I guess. I forgot which one. But does it matter that it's not in the minutes?
That it's not in the minutes?
Yes, I don't remember seeing anything about that.
Is it not in? Okay.
But I said, okay.
It can be added, but the minutes are required by law to have every motion that was voted on.
Okay.
And the disposition of the motion. But
So not
Okay.
every conversation. Not every
Not every
conversation, right.
Okay.
But if you want that in the minutes, it's certainly.
No,
Would you
I'm
like
just,
to, you just wanted to know?
yeah, thanks for the clarification.
Yeah, okay. Anyone want to make a motion? Accept the minutes?
I make a motion to accept the board minutes from September 9th meeting.
Second.
All in favor of accepting the minutes?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Any opposed? Okay. So, so the revised agenda, has everybody had a chance to look at the revisions?
We just removed one of the schools and said to open correct.
I make a motion to accept the revised agenda.
All right. Second. All in favor? Any opposed? All right, so are we having guests this morning? Mr. Dupree?
Yes.
Hi.
Hello. Y'all ready for me already?
Yeah, we're ready for you.
Awesome. All right. Well, good morning. My name is Sam McCray. I come from you all from Hammond, Louisiana, the owner of Legacy Board Cutting Lounge. Been in the industry now 28 years as of day before yesterday. So both as a cosmetologist and a barber and an international educator. I travel the country with former companies such as Dutch Products, Influence, as well as Corona Products. And what I want to present in the states that I've been in and the ones from which is this one here I reside in now, also a member of the LSBBA. Last year was the king of LSBBA for the year. I think I'm the presiding king as of right now, but because I didn't know nobody ran against me, whatever reason that might have been. Maybe I was a staple. I don't know. Set the standard. But I came to you all today to present to you all the importance of behind the education and the changes that I can see that we can make here in the state of Louisiana. We all know that education is very important, and because education is important, we say in barbering, in the barber industry as well as cosmetology, we are the cornerstone of the community. Everybody pretty much comes to us right here. So during 2020, the state, across the country, they said it wasn't essential, but we're just as important as CDC because we are sanitation, we are sterilization. And when it comes time to the education and being that important, we don't realize what our strengths are. And education is key to that. And so when we have things that I feel like we can improve on, we have educators that's over the schools, or educators in schools that have to get continuing education hours. But why not continuing education hours for all cosmetology? Because if we're getting just the educators to educate through and improve their hours, once they graduate schools, now the cosmetology is not furthering education far and beyond. And then we have there's LAC, there's My Lady, and then there's LSBC in the state of Louisiana. But sometimes the states, there's educators, or there's also cosmetologists that go across the borders to further education, but those hours are not being recognized because it's on the individual. And things to be successful in this industry, you need a mindset, a skill set, and a basic tool set to be influential and make the difference. The higher power and put its places here to be mediocre and places here to be extraordinary. So why settle for less when we can have abundance within ourselves? It's where the cornerstone of the community. So what I propose to the board today is seeing about enhancing the hours for, not just the hours, but the education far and beyond just what the educators are going to do behind college, and present that same thing to cosmetologists across the state. Ever with the hours that you might have, but furthering education, as well as recognizing educators that's in the state, for you can take classes both here and recognize hours from other states. That's where they can get their continuing education hours, not just in the state of Louisiana with those 3 that I mentioned earlier, but also other accredited seminars, symposiums, and summits in other states that actually do the same thing, because it's still furthering education. There's a lot of educators that I've traveled with that come from this state here to go across the borders to get their education both in trichology, deserology, and a few other education learning both taxes as well as mentorship and coaching. That's not educators, they're just cosmetologists that want to improve their life, right? But they have to come out of this great state to actually do it. Why not have it here for all cosmetologists, not just the educators? And we have top tier educators that's willing to do these things, or are doing these things, but it's not being recognized in the state when I talk to the state board. And there's some things from which that I might address right now, but that might get shined down or not, thrown to the wayside. I'm just looking for results because I'm addicted to results. And if it helps everybody better and better our lives as cosmetologists, it also helps enhance our children's lives as well. Because if we have to further our education as the barbers, and we have children and cosmetologists, if I gotta go get my education, I'm for sure gonna make sure my child gets a better education, right? So you're not gonna go lack. This state just moved up from 48th to now the 40th, K1 through 12 when it comes to education. That's a vast improvement. But if I have to improve myself, and I'm also dating my fiance is also an educator in one of the schools, and one of the schools there, because their enrollment is down, but based on what she says about some of the people that can't come past the state board to get test anxiety, or they have, because they have lack of knowing how to read the simple core things that we need to pass state board, not just pass state board, but to enhance our careers, to be successful in this industry. We understand that cosmetologists and barbers, as well as educators, aren't always created equal. But if we're raising the bar in the state, then we can actually make the state that much better if we're the core foundation of what the cornerstone of the community, what it means to be a core person in the community. We have the power to influence a vote to go one direction, because just off my 100 customers and his 100 customers and her 100 customers, if I speak to my 100 customers, I can sway the vote of who votes and who goes into the office, who doesn't go into office. We have that type of power, but we have to do it through education. If our clients believe in us, like how we believe in them when they come sitting in our chairs, because we have higher learning, price points doesn't negate some people from actually going to the higher level because of the fact that I have a wall full of accolades that says I can charge this much right here because of my price. It says my education says this is what I learned. If I'm only an educator at a school, then I limit myself to what it is I can learn. But if my accolades say, okay, I'm charging $150 for this hair service, for this haircut. And the barber shop next door to me charges $40 for the haircut. Or a color I can get $300 for. And they ask you, why do you charge so much? And I can look at my wall and accolades and see my further my education. They can answer their own question as to how my education has further enhanced my career. I do this because I want to do this. There's a lot of schools that I've been through throughout the state and did education and did seminars and classes, talked about business. But I'm not, by directive of a school, have an educator or school instructor's license. But I've been an educator for over 20 years. I've been on platforms such as the Proud Lady, Bronner Brothers, IBS, Premier, Impulse Summit, the National Educational Symposium with Influence, as well as the Bronner Brothers platforms. And have standing room only in a lot of my classes. And they haven't seen me touch one Marcel iron or seen me do not one color because I focus in on the business. We have a lot of people that know how to do hair, they don't know how to do business. So if they have, and it's full of hairstylists and it's full of cosmetologists around the country that's at these events. But if our hours in the state of Louisiana, and it's not the educators that's at the schools that's there, there's cosmetologists that's at the schools, that's at these classes, that's at these seminars across these borders. Other states recognize it. I just came from 3 that was hosted in North Carolina, so I was in North Carolina 3 weekends in a row in September. You know, so travel back and forth there, but I should be able to get my education throughout in the state right here versus having to travel outside of the state. If we're recognizing other educators that can come into our state and we can get education in this state from not just the instructors and continuing education hours and to be recognized, but it improves our state if we can have more education. Abundance is our birthright. So we, you know, I know things haven't changed in a number of years, but without change, it's not growth. In order for things to get better, we have to get better. And if we're leaving ourselves to be just mediocre right here, where do we grow? Where's our growth? If we want better for our children, we have to, you know, everybody that's in the room right now would like to have it be in the best of health, right? All of us would like to make more money, right? But we talk about making more money. We like to want to be in the best health. We like to want to retire out of these things. We also want to be able to have the best education. We talk about having the best education when it's kids to the best schools. But why don't we have to start with this educators? It can be our cosmetologists, it can be our barbers, it can be our estheticians. Furthering our education is very important to a lot of our business. We have a lot of barbers and hairstylists and salons that I go to, both as a distributor and as a barber myself and a salon owner. I go to a lot of salons and a lot of chairs not spinning in cosmetology. We have a lot more female barbers, people becoming female barbers now because the chairs are not spinning. They go to YouTube and they go to Instagram to get their information. As if I came to her class or I came to her school because her core foundation was she does natural hair care. He does barbering. You do color. If I did a class, or if you did a class, I'm going to have all these people right here come to your class. How does State Board win behind that? If you're hosting a class as a stylist and you're a core educator and you put it on the State Board website, and we all find out that where we are in the country, or where we are in the state, you're doing a class, and it's on the State Board website. State Board gets whatever fee that y'all charge for me to host that class because you're posting on the website. A State Board member can come by and maybe even inspect and make sure we're doing what we're supposed to. Everybody took a class, we sign in. Whatever you charge your fee was for your class that you hosted, we charging that to our people that's here in this room. State Board gets whatever fee, let's say the fee's $100. If there's 5 educators that's here that's charging $100, State Board gets $500 for whatever class we're hosting this week. And we have an option to wherever part of the state we're in, whether it be Monroe, Shreveport, Alexandria, New Orleans, wherever it's at, we can travel to that because I went online, I saw where the class was being hosted at, and I took that course, and the State Board recognizes those hours both as me as a cosmetologist, a barber, or esthetician because I furthered my education. Not everybody has an instructor's license. I get that. But a lot of people are very core when it comes to education, doing positive things around the industry. There's a trichology course that was at $3,600. She doesn't have an educator's license, but she's an educator. She has an academy. But it's not recognized here in the state, but I was going to take that course at the State Board here in Louisiana. So my thing is to actually further our education, look across the borders of where we are to bring in more knowledge here so we can be better people, better stylists and barbers for ourselves, have an exit strategy for our retirement, and be more leaders in what we're doing. Leaders are readers and readers are leaders. The more you read, the more you succeed in business. I happen to be an avid reader, right? I read a lot. 30 minutes every morning, I'm reading something, right? I didn't read my notes this morning, so I'm kind of rambling. But I think I'm doing okay, because I got everybody's attention still, right? But with that being said, the more we learn, the more we expect to earn. And if you're working to learn instead of working to earn, we're going to earn more than we're going to need, right? So I yield for the moment. Actually, I yield for this meeting right here, but I do want us to pay attention to having more than just the educators get continuing education hours, but cosmetologists around the state get more continuing education hours so their chairs can stay spinning and we don't have to keep going back and forth to legislation trying to fight for our right to be effective and efficient in this business. Because the more the money the state makes, the more opportunities that the people from the board have to go and inspect a lot of the salons that's not up to par, because we can afford staff to actually have the luxuries of going out there to inspect some of these salons that's trash. And I've been through quite a few of them as a distributor selling products, right? Raising the bar, raising the standards. For some of the salons, barbershops are not doing their due diligence when it comes to sanitation and sterilization. And we become a key target market for why people don't want to come to the salons and the barbershops to get a service. They'd rather stay at home because they can go to YouTube University or Instagram or Facebook and learn everything step by step as to how they do it. And it leaves us at a disarray for advancement of our careers. All right. I yield. Thank you.
All right. Well, thank you. Thank you for that presentation. So we'll move in. Okay, so we'll go into the schools.
Okay, we have Compass Career College, so.
I need to recuse myself.
Got it?
Sorry.
May I ask a question about Mr. McRae's presentation? So he presented a lot of information and ideas and such, but what's the path forward from that? Are we acting on something, or?
It was just a presentation on a suggestion of,
Okay.
Unfortunately, what I took from it is a way to bring in some revenue and bring our stylists and barbers up to a higher education, correct?
Yes. The way I've seen it work in other states that I've been licensed in is, and I won't particularly put the state out there, but state board would take $100 from me. I host a class, which would be $395, and it's 2 days when I taught makeup artistry in the state. Hands-on class one day, look and learn class look and learn the first day, hands-on the second day. They got 15 hours off my class alone. I paid state board $100. The students came and took my class. They paid me my $395. I paid state board $100. That was just me hosting a class. So state board was able to afford more people to come throughout the state to doing their inspections when they did their inspections around the state. So therefore, it wasn't financially frustrating for that particular state. State board got paid. I got paid off the people who were there. They got certificates so they can put their accolades and stuff on the wall to say, I'm a certified makeup artist, I'm a certified color technician, I'm a certified retail specialist, I took this mentorship, I'm a certified trichologist. Whatever the course might have been, everybody was happy. The stylists that got educated, the instructor that taught the class, and state board. And everybody was able to be financially funded through the state. And then state board was able to get their money, and all you have to do is post on the website that this is where the class was being hosted in, say, Shreveport, and then all of us can go up to Shreveport, or ever how big the class was, go up to Shreveport, pay whoever's, pay your fee, go to take the course, you will give us our certification, you send a certification to state board, and state board recognizes those hours that we actually finished, that we took that course, and it has our name. So that when it comes time to renew my license, I took these courses. And I'm a lot better now as a better person, because now I can charge what I want to charge as a certified trichologist or a makeup artist or non-surgical hair replacement person, right? Or a color specialist, right? So now, because I'm able to charge more, my certification says I did this, state board recognized my hours, and the educator may not have come from the state, but it was on state board and it was recognized.
Your question?
It does, but I mean, it sounds like a win-win, but or is it going to go beyond this meeting? Or?
It was just a presentation.
Okay.
No vote on it.
Okay.
Okay, Compass Career College is for their approval of their floor plans and their cosmetology curriculum. You'll see it in the packet there. This is for their additional location.
And everything's in order to do.
As far as I know, but I would like you guys to review the floor plans for sure.
Looking at spacing?
The supplies and everything, like their stations, everything is supposed to be, some of the mobile, the rules and stuff. Yeah, that's it.
Madam Chair, she has everything in order. I'll move that we go forward.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any objections? Okay. Thank you.
Yes, hi, good morning. We just have the one today. This is Tree Lynn Nguyen. She has a salon, MB Nails, and she failed to request a change of ownership with the board and having it properly inspected prior to opening. So the violation was for operating an unregistered salon. She agreed to enter into a consent agreement to pay a fine of $200 plus cost of $350 for a total of $550 plus the standard 1-year probation. And she has paid the fine and signed the consent.
Does anybody have any comments, questions about it? Somebody wants to make a motion?
I make a motion to accept the consent agreement.
Second.
Thank you.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any against? Okay. Old business, a discussion of the continuing education hours.
Okay, Mr. Steve, you want me to take it? Okay, it's really hard to keep track of the online CEU credits because it's always done on their birthdays or just all throughout the year. We have to keep a list for all our employees to have so they know what's going on and if they're active or inactive. So, Mr. Steve made a great suggestion to make it where if you want to do the online CEU training, you have to have it turned in between January and March of each year. That way we can keep a good track on it. It's no confusion and it's just easier because we don't have that many staff back there to do this. So if that's okay with you guys, I would like to pass that to start next year, if possible.
And let me explain just a little bit to the board that these are the continuing hours that need to be taken by our instructors. And so the online portion, and so we're just asking that there be a period of 90 days and that we do that at a certain time frame each year so that we don't have this day by day by day by day, and we can keep all of this fairly well sectionalized and keep it up to date. And it's just a simple request and probably an improvement in record keeping.
So would this be something we would start like in 2025?
Yes.
Okay. And is it still just Milady and Pivot Point that we're doing? Like, is Lax no longer? Is it, like, what are their other options?
Well, the only other option right now would be Lax if they have.
No, we have LSBC100724.
Yeah, well, yeah. We do
That's
have
actually
that.
coming up, I think, this weekend.
But if Lax comes up with another workshop this year, then we would include that. But
They're supposed to be working on it. They did say that they intend together. Yeah. Officially,
together.
Yeah.
I like that.
And what's happening is that they're taking like some of the classes in 2022 and then another class in like 2023. And with the way that the law is written is very, very almost impossible to keep up with if you're active, because the way it reads is you're supposed to do your 16 hours every 24 months, but it breaks up. If they break it up, it's just almost impossible.
Very, very hard.
I know for me personally, the Milady one, I just took the same classes a second time because that was the only thing. I wasn't able to go to which one's this weekend?
The LSBC.
So it's kind of like, I'm just paying money for a certificate.
Right. So we're hoping that Lax.
Yeah. They say they're pretty close, so.
Yeah.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah. Okay, so, do we want to have a vote on that, board members, to accept that starting in 2025 procedure, and then
You all are gonna send out a notice to
Absolutely.
or something, put it on the website.
Yeah.
okay. So,
I make a motion to accept the change for continuing ed hours to be due the first 90 days of the year starting in 2025.
I second.
all in favor? Any opposed? Okay, move on to the shampooing permit. We've given everybody a copy of what is stated for the rule in the goal book. If you have a chance to look at it, be sure you're gonna kind of go over it.
So we have our request, the board received a request for a declaratory order, I guess, to review the shampoo permit rule. So the board would have to notify interested parties, and we do have a number of salons. There's two ways to get a shampoo permit. So everybody has the rule in front of them. It's 1109. The first way to get a shampoo permit is a special permit authorizing the forms of shampooing can be issued by a person who completes 40 hours of training in a cosmetology school. That's the first way to get it. This was kind of designed, my understanding, as a path for individuals that maybe didn't complete the cosmetology program to be able to come in, and also then to have this 40-hour course, which would create jobs for individuals who didn't get the full cosmetology license. The second Part B was added at a later date to allow the salon owners to train individuals to be shampoo assistants, to provide better access to the training in some parts of the state. And so we have those two options. The scope of the permit, you'll see on paragraph D, these individuals are allowed to cleanse synthetic and natural hair, apply and remove conditioner, apply and rinse perm solution and perm neutralizer, remove hair color, tint, and other chemicals applied to natural hair by the cosmetologist, and remove foil and perm rods. The last time this rule was amended was in May of 2018. So in order to review it, you would probably need input from the salons that actually use this permit. And so my recommendation is to set it for hearing at the next meeting and have the staff send notices to the salons that would want to participate in the hearing or provide information about whether the rule still works the way it was written, or if it needs to be changed in some people.
So it was asked of us to review it for what purpose? Just to look at it? Which way were they, like, what was the purpose in asking?
Yeah, it wasn't. The purpose is we have something called head spas that are coming up, where they're shampooing the hair, but after the oils and the shampoo and all this, they massage all the way to the shoulders, and then you get up and you blow dry, you get a blowout, and they sort of fix your hair. You have to be a cosmetologist for that. They don't want that. They are fighting for a shampoo permit to be able to come in and do these tasks, and they're popping up everywhere now, so it's becoming a problem.
In addition,
Because if I go get mine done, I want somebody who knows what they're doing.
Exactly.
in addition to, initially when this was done, it was with good intention, clearly. But now it is much more difficult to quote unquote police. If you walk into a salon and somebody is shampooing someone's hair, because this version of the shampoo assistant is not issued in an individual's name, but instead in the salon's name, they can always say whomever is doing the service is the person that the permit was issued for. We don't keep record of that. We do, but they switch them so often. It's just really, really difficult to police and enforce. And again, it was done with good intention, but it is out of control.
And I still agree with maybe the people going to school to earn theirs, and it's theirs, and there's
Because
no
it's
doubt.
in their name.
But the salons apprenticing this stuff, I don't think that
And
we
it's
should
basically
continue
apprenticeship
doing
thing,
it.
and we don't do apprenticeship.
And they abuse
Before-
it, like she said.
I mean, my recommendation is that we gather all the information that the staff has regarding this permit, and also send notices to the salons that do use this permit, and the individuals. The individuals who have the permit, they already have the permit, and will be allowed to keep the permit no matter what, because they met the requirements at the time. But the salons, and get their input as to how, whether or not this rule is working, whether the level of, the number of hours of education is sufficient. Another reason was, I think for insurance coverage, this made, the people that were working in the salons with customers trained, which allowed them to get insurance coverage for the work that those individuals were doing. So my suggestion is that we gather all this information, kind of put it together, and also notify the interested parties so that they can participate before there's any change of the rule or consideration of whether it's
In what scenario would the salon
So-
object? Yeah, they're obviously gonna be for it.
Yeah, I mean, in what scenario would a person who has a
The law
permit say
requires
no?
us to notify interested parties, so I think we have to go through that process.
I wish
That's
we would've
what
known
we're
that.
supposed to do. So it could be done at the next.
Could you maybe be emailed that information for review prior to the next meeting?
Thank you.
Yes, I think that.
I would like to be able to know before.
Me too.
Sure.
I didn't know before.
So I guess we've had all our questions and comments already. No other questions about that, so we have our homework cut out for us to review this. I think the problem is some of the, people trying to get around the permit is where the real issue is in the end, so I think we need to kind of look at it and think about it, review it, and find a solution.
I did see a huge thread on that spot.
Yeah. Okay, just so we're all clear.
So November meeting, is scheduled for November 3rd, is that correct? Just to make sure we'll have a quorum if we ask people to come. Does anybody know that they won't be able to attend on November 3rd? November 4th. Once we have a quorum, then we'll
Have a quorum for the people being that we're moving it down. So if any more than one is absent now, then we don't have a quorum. Still in one, but it's. Okay, so we'll move on to the task force. Board members, y'all had gotten a notice that we had kind of revised who would be included in the board from the task force. One salon owner, which would be a cosmetologist, a school owner, staff member, test administrator, and 2 instructors. Does everybody feel confident with that? You know, comfortable with those positions that we've asked to be on the task force? Okay, we've gotten a few resumes in, not too many, so if there's anybody that y'all feel would benefit.
Still receive.
Yes. We'll keep probably that open for another month. And we'll review the resumes and how many we've gotten since we introduced the task force.
Did you?
Yes.
They want you guys to submit resumes if you're interested.
Okay.
They didn't
you
say
didn't-
that.
they didn't
I
say
know.
that. Okay,
I got you.
I guess we just signed the paper and then.
Yeah.
Some people had signed up last
Gotcha.
meeting that weren't.
Which is why we are going to extend it, because we want to make sure that everybody has the opportunity to apply and put their resume in through the state board.
How are we making it known that this is available and we're accepting applications? Is it on the website?
It's through us board members. I
That's-
don't think it's on the website.
Could we put it on the website? I think that's what you're asking.
I'm just asking, how do people know that they can apply for this? And then follow-up question, are there any specific qualities or experience that we're looking for?
Yeah, that's what you're voting on.
You have to be one of
right?
these.
Mhm.
So
That's it?
That's it.
Mhm.
Okay.
I mean, of course, on a resume, you give all your accolades. You know, to prove that you're qualified to do the job. So, but could we put that on the board website? Would that be possible?
Yeah, we can.
I guess I did have some, I don't know, I don't have more questions about exactly what the task force, like what, responsibility would they have? Like, are these 7 people just going to completely revamp the test and then do we have to vote on that after? Like, what
Yes.
exactly will they be doing and responsible for? I think
I would like to.
mile on it.
Well,
You wanted to say something?
I was gonna ask,
Yeah.
On record now.
you are putting together a task force to look at any changes that may be made or can be made or should be made in the testing. And after a period of time, you will make those suggestions to the board. The board will look at these, will think about it, and then they will vote on changes, if any. So that's how that will work.
Gotcha, okay, thank you for that clarification, yes, thank you.
Should we add that to what we posted on the website, what it's about? Okay.
She's so scared until I came 7 people.
Yeah, absolutely. No, yeah. Okay, so we're moving forward that too. I just wanted to update y'all on that. We will add that to, was a suggestion to add it to the website. We'll move on to new business. Mr. Steve?
Well, let's see, I'm a month older, and that's always good to still be here. Let's see, we need to get one of Nicole signed. This is just an agreement by the board so that we can take care of our regular business. A meeting of the Louisiana State Board of Cosmetology was held October 7th, 2024, whereby the resolution was passed. Be it resolved that Chairman Jennifer Cobb Reed and Executive Director Stephen Young shall be recognized as authorized signatories for the Louisiana State Board of Cosmetology until January 31, 26. That just means so I can sign the payrolls and sign the necessary documents, and that the chairman can also sign the necessary documents she needs to sign. It's just that we need to have this in our records. So if you would ask for a resolution on that.
I just need to sign it? Yeah, I just need to sign it.
So you need a motion to authorize the chairman and executive director to be the authorized signatories for it.
Okay, I make a motion to authorize our chairman, Jennifer Cobb Reed, and our executive director, Stephen Young, to be to be able to sign for the board.
I second.
All in favor? Aye. Any opposed?
And I think we have some attorneys' business.
Okay, so, since the last meeting, we received several petitions for declaratory orders. And again, there's a procedure and we have in our rules to review petitions for declaratory orders and to receive, to notify interested parties so that they can present any information in favor of or against whatever position is taken in the declaratory order. The declaratory orders we received were five, and they asked very similar questions, but one of the issues that is being raised is whether or not the fines are cases in which fines are being levied appropriately. I'm not sure that that is within the board's jurisdiction. So my recommendation to handle these petitions would be to set them, we are supposed to set them for hearing within the 60 days. The next meeting is within the 60-day period to also set these for declaratory orders. But I also would like the board's permission to request an Attorney General's opinion on the fine issue. In order to request an Attorney General's opinion, a board must adopt a resolution to authorize the request. So I would need a resolution of the board to request an Attorney General's opinion relative to the fine issue, because the question is much broader than our rules and our law. Our law does allow a fine of up to $200 per violation. And so that has been in the statutes for a very long period of time. It's not, in our rules, it's in the statutes that were adopted by the legislature. So I'm requesting authority to request an Attorney General's opinion as to the proper procedure to handle that aspect of the requests.
I make a motion to accept. All in favor? Any opposed?
I will as well ask for an expedited request so that we can get it. But in the meantime, I would like this to be on the schedule for the next board meeting as well, the November board meeting. So there are 5 requests, and we'll distribute copies to the members
and try to determine who the appropriate, interested individuals to be notified are.
So you will receive copies of it. Is that a wrap?
Additionally, the pending lawsuit, the grading suit is still, there's a rate application pending before the Louisiana Supreme Court. We haven't received a ruling yet, but when I receive a ruling, I will forward that to the staff, to the board members. And again, it is October, and so, the session kind of comes up, pre-filing deadlines come up fast because we have a lot of holidays at the end of the year. So if there's any legislation that needs to be prepared other than the fee increase, which has been discussed before, please make sure, get that to the chairman, to Mr. Steve or myself, so we can be working on that.
Anybody have anything else to add?
So moving forward for new business, we're gonna have more things sent to us so we can review ahead of time?
Yes.
Everything? Okay.
Yes. Yep.
And what's our strategy for the fee increase? I know last meeting we talked about, we always wait until January and.
Right now, I have a phone call set up this afternoon to get with Representative Rhonda Butler, who will be carrying it for us. So, I'll know a little bit more about the strategy once I get to speak with her.
Is there anything we as board members can do?
Absolutely,
Okay.
yes.
Update us after your phone call.
Yes, I will 100%. I will send you out an email.
Okay.
Basically, we're gonna have to work in our own areas and get your congressmen, representatives, anyone that you know as a licensee, everyone, to know the importance of this fee increase. Okay? So yes, you will get appropriate information.
Okay.
Give them a word. All right, is that it? Well, I believe this meeting is adjourned.